Using a cosine rule to find an angle. We already know how to use a cosine rule as given to us on the formula sheet in the Nat 5 exam to work out the side of any triangle. It's simply Pythagoras, a squared equals b squared plus c squared, with an adjustment on the end because the triangle may not be 90 degrees. Now at this point I should tell you that they also give us a formula for working out the angle, and if you want to just jump to straight how to use that, you probably want to go to about the 3-minute mark in this video. However, it's good practice for us to see where it comes from and also to practice changing the subject of a formula. We're looking for a formula for cos A, this bit here. So first of all, the term that we want has a negative sign on it. We want to get rid of that. And so we're going to move the 2bc cos A to the other side. I'm going to add 2bc cos A to both sides to get rid of this minus. So my next line will be a squared plus my 2bc cos A equals, and then on my right hand side I still have my b squared plus c squared. Now I want rid of my a squared, so I'm going to subtract it from both sides, which will leave me with my 2bc cos A. My right hand side, each time we do this, of course, one thing only changes, everything else stays the same. So my right hand side that was stays the same, and then my minus a squared, that's the thing that changes. And then finally, to get rid of my 2bc, which is multiplying my cos A, it's a coefficient. So cos A there's my right hand side, b squared plus c squared minus a squared, divided by my 2bc. At this point, can I point out? Remember we said before, angles or corners are capital letters, and the other letters here we know refer to sides. Side A is opposite corner A or angle A. Small b, opposite vertex or corner B, and opposite vertex C, angle C, small letters are sides. So in our final formula, what we have is cos A, b squared plus c squared. The one that I subtract out of my three sides is the one that corresponds here. Angle A, subtract side A. In other words, the side opposite the angle we're looking for is always the one that I'm subtracting. And the other two sides, doesn't matter which way around they are, but these two sides squared get added, and these are the two numbers which will appear underneath that I'm going to divide by 2 times the first side times the second side. But the one again that I subtract is the one opposite the angle that I'm looking for. So angle A here, small a here. So how does it all work? Well, here we go. We know, as I say, on the formula sheet, we have the rule given to us. Cos of angle A is b squared plus c squared. Take away the opposite side over 2bc. Now you could replace all the letters here with the letters that I've got on this diagram. It's not required, so long as I show how to use it. So I'm asked to work out angle P, so I'm going to do cosine of P equals, and then I just need to put in the numbers. The 5 is the one opposite, it's my small p if you like, but it's the one opposite, so that's the one I'm subtracting. So in here I'm going to write 8 squared plus 6 squared. Make sure the 5 is the one I'm subtracting, and put the whole thing over 2 times the first side times the second side. Process all of the top line. So my 8 squared plus 6 squared, subtract my 5 squared, equals, and that comes to 75. Get that answer, then work out the other answer. You must work out both things separately. From your scientific calculator, you just try and do this and then divide, and you don't use appropriate brackets and things that will give you the wrong answer. Also, the exam would want to see what fraction you get. So the top line becomes 75, bottom line 2 times 8 times 6. My denominator becomes 96. That's required for the second mark. At this point, if you wish, you can divide them and write down the decimal you get. 0.781. I'm not going to round off, so I'm just going to put ... and so on, blah, 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 if you like, because I only round off at the very end, as we've said before. So, final step, reach for my trusty calculator on here. I take my 75, divide by my 96, equals, before I do anything else, there we are, 0.781 and so on. And then I'm going to decause that because I just want what P equals. So shift cos of answer equals, and now this is my last step, so now I can round off, 38.6. So angle P, 38.6, and it's an angle, so my units are degrees. And that is essentially it. I don't need to worry about finding a second answer, because in trig equations we say remove cos, second answer. But if I take any answer that I get here away from 360, I'll always get something more than 180. And in a triangle, you can't have an angle more than 180. So what I'm saying is forget about the second answer. It's not required. It's never relevant. Our process. We write down the rule, but with our numbers and letters in it. We always subtract the side that's opposite the angle we're looking for. The bottom is 2 times first number, second number, not one we subtract. Work out the top number, the denominator, process that. Process the bottom and get your denominator. Divide the two of them, and then decause it, shift cos, inverse cos is a technical term, and get your angle. And that's it. That gives us the angle. One final thing. Those who've done sine rule will be saying, well, how do you know if it's a sine rule question or a cosine question, regardless of whether it's finding a side or angle? Sine rule or cosine rule? Quite simply, ask yourself, at the end of this question, will I know all 3 sides of the triangle? Sometimes I know them here at the beginning. Sometimes it won't be till the end. But if by the end of the question I will know all 3 sides, then cosine rule always works. So by the end of the question, do I know all 3 sides? Then it's a cosine rule question. And that should be 3 marks in the bag.